Box? Voice is okay? Okay, sir. Fine. Okay. So see here, in centroid, it means we are having certain proofs that are to be discussed. So we are having one more topic rather than the proofs that we are going to discuss. That is uh, your proof or your Pappus Goldenness theorem is very important topic that we are going to discuss in the tomorrow session. But today's session, whatever the remaining proofs are there, so those are very important proofs that we are going to discuss. So you can expect 2 to 3 problems in external examinations. It means final semester examinations. You are going to get these proofs definitely. Okay. So please be careful. So these are the important topics. Whatever I will say in the class, these are the important topics. Means those are important for internal and external examinations. It means for mid examinations, for final examinations, those are important. So many people are asking that before mid examinations, sir, what are the important topics? We are not going to tell wherever the exams are going to tell between your before 2 days of examinations. We are not going to say any important. Only if you are having any doubts, those kind of things, what is the structure and what are the important topics, what we are going to cover, uh, you have to ask only in the sessions only, not at the nearest possible mid examinations. Okay, only you can clarify in a classroom or otherwise before your examinations. Okay, so see here, we will start the class. So till now we have discussed per circle, per triangle, per rectangle, per square, and also for semicircle also we have discussed some proofs. For proofs of centroid, it means for two-dimensional objects we have discussed. But see here, if any line element is there or otherwise any curve is there. So curve is nothing but only single dimension only. Na? So it is which is having certain length only. There is no matter of area. So whenever a length consideration will be there, so for the length or otherwise that curve, so whatever the position of centroid, whatever the procedure we are going to follow for finding out the centroids. So see here, for those that consideration, on basis of those considerations we will go for see this proof of see here. So first proof, it is also important. So based on this we are having certain problems also. You only need to do that, focus on only proofs. Okay, automatically you will get the solution for problems also very easily. So see here, first problem what they are saying is, so locate the centroid of the curve AB bent in a shape. It means curve AB is given. So curve AB is given means A is the starting point, B is the end point. A is the starting point, B is the end point. So AB bent in a shape of a quadrant. So it means if it is a full circle will be there. So quadrant is nothing but fourth portion. Okay, 1/4 portion of the total circle. It means out of 4 parts, whatever the one part is there, so that is nothing but your quadrant. So we are going to draw it as this. So 1/4 part we are going to call as a quadrant. Okay. So if it is a half semicircle, if it is a 3 portions, we will call it as a some sector is open, 3/4 portion of a circle, and also full circle. Okay, one part. So out of 4 parts, first part is there. So for this first part, so this is a curve which is having starting and end point AB and bent in the shape in a quadrant. So that curve is bent in the shape of a quadrant which is having starting point and end point. Okay. Now what we have to find out, we have to locate the center for this curve. So for any curve or otherwise any three-dimensional body also, if you want to find out the centroid, simple thing is that you have to first of all define its elemental area or otherwise elemental length. If it is a one-dimensional body, you will have a length. If it is a two-dimensional body, you will have a area. If it is a three-dimensional body, you will have a volume. Okay. So if it is a one-dimensional body, so that's only it is curve only. So for this curve, we will have a length only. So if capital L is the length of the total curve, so differential element, it means smaller elementary length will be TL. Okay, so out of this total entire curve, we are going to take some amount of portion, as an integral portion. If you do this curve in between their limits, means you are starting from 0 and this curve is starting from here, origin 0 to 0 comma 0 to how much? How much means whatever this total entire uh, length of the curve is there, that is your total length. So 0 to L. Okay, what is here? It is what is the parameter which is going to be changed here in between 0 to L? Total length is going to be L. So we have to go for integrating differential element with respect to what? With respect to what? With respect to x. This x is the total entire x coordinate. Total entire coordinate. If you want to find out total y centroidal coordinate, you will go for x, and if it is x centroidal coordinate, you will go for 5. Okay, so see here, so this total entire x into this dl is going to give your x centroid. Dx is going to give your x centroid. So see here, if you want to find out x centroid, so first of all, this is your general from whatever your sorry, so whatever your 0 to L, whatever the integral approach is there, otherwise continuous form of approach is there, this is the procedure we are going to follow. This is the procedure we are going to follow, or otherwise method we will generally use. So first of all, whatever the element we are going to differentiate, okay, so that elemental length first of all we have to take, and second step is to whatever the angle we will. So angle is required. Why? Because so simply, so see here, so simply, so I will assume this as my differential elemental length. So this differential elemental length is having a centroid location at here. This centroid is not the whole curve centroid, only differential element length centroid position is there. So this is having the location with respect to x-axis, it is having some theta. Okay, so theta is the starting of this differential elemental length, and d the subtended angle. So what is meant by subtended angle means whatever the total length of this curve is there. So we have assumed dl as the elementary length curve. We have assumed dl as the elementary length of this elementary curve. So for this is having the total d theta as a angle. D theta as a angle between what and what, between the starting and end portion of the elementary curve. So starting is making with it theta. So this is the angle of your angle which is going to be maintained by the first point of the elementary length curve, and d theta is the total subtended angle of this elementary portion of your curve, elementary portion of the total entire curve. So that's why only, so d theta is your subtended angle and dl is the elementary length of the curve, and which is away from theta, so theta is your axis, x-axis angle. Okay, na? It is making theta angle with reference to x-axis. So what it means, so your elementary curve. Okay, now go for, so from the geometry we will know that if you want to find out the total elementary length, so we know that if it is a sector, how to find out the sector length? So dl is equal to, in order to get total entire, so whatever your radius or others from here, whatever your base is there, that is going to be revolve. You have to rotate. So how much amount of rotation? So with d theta amount of rotation you are going to have. So here capital R is the total radius as a base. Okay, and also d theta is your subtended. So therefore dl is equal to elementary length of the curve, dl is equal to r into d theta. Okay, here r is your radius and d theta is your subtended angle of your elementary portion of the total integral. Okay. Now after getting this, so see here. So see here, after getting DL value, you have to go for finding x and y coordinate. So why you are going to find out x coordinate and y coordinate of this question? Why? Because this centered location will be, you have to definitely represent, okay, in terms of theta. Why? Because over the total entire theta, it is going to be, we are going to be integrate this total entire. So that's only x and y are the coordinates with respect to y axis. We are having x, with respect to x axis we are going to get y. Okay. So after getting this x and y values, so go for apply integration. That is, in order to find x centered, so whatever the x value is there, this is going to multiply dl divided by integration of dl. So x value we know that as x is equal to r cos theta. Okay. And how it is r cos theta means, only we have to resolve into two horizontal and vertical component portions. So if you draw a triangle from the center of the elementary portion, so you see here, this is your center. So from here I am going to draw vertical, I am going to draw horizontal. So this is coordinate. So if the angle between here, it is how much amount of angle, if it is theta means, if it is theta means, you definitely get x is equal to r cos theta. Okay, this is r, y is equal to r sin theta. So then go for x into d integration dx. Okay, r cos theta into r d theta. So here x is nothing but your r cos theta and dl is nothing but our, it is r d theta. So r cos theta into r d theta, which is going to be r square cos theta d theta. Okay, divided by integration 0 to integration of pi by 2 here, you see here. So why we are going to take as a pi by 2? Why? Because for full circle we are going to have 360 degrees of rotation. For quarter circle, how much amount of portion they have given in order to find out the center, right? So they have given between A to B as 90 degrees. See here, if you clearly observe, this is going to be defining in between 0 to pi by 2 limits only. Okay. If you rotate any point with 90 degrees, you are going to get a curve. That is quarter portion of your circle you are going to get. So that's only what are the limits are there here. Limits are your lower limit is your 0, upper limit is your pi by 2. That's only in between these two limits only we are going to integrate of this one. So therefore, so from here, you will see you are going to get, if you integrate this, if you integrate this one, you are going to get the total interval. See here. So see here how much amount of this one I am having. So r square cos square d theta, r square cos theta d theta I have got, in the denominator I got 0 by r. So we know the integration of r square. Sorry. So R and R will be gets cancelled. So R is your constant. Why we are going to say R is a constant means only theta is the parameter here. Only theta is the parameter here, which is going to be changed. It means it is in limits. Okay. So see here. So theta. So sin theta. Integration of cos theta is equal to sin theta divided by integration of theta is equal to theta. Okay. So pi by 2 to 0 to pi by 2 on upper and lower limits. So r into, so if you cancel one r to the r, so you will get the numerator r. Okay. So sine of 90 minus sine of 90 minus. So see here, sine pi by 2 is how much? Sine pi by 2 you are going to get as a 1. Okay. So sine 90 minus sine 0 is 0 always. Okay, no problem. So x is equal to sine 90 you are going to have, it is r sin 90 value will be 1. Okay, so you are going to get 2 are in the numerator and denominator you are going to get 5. So why you are going to get 2 means this total entire pi by 2 is going to be get in the numerator. So y coordinate is how much here? Y coordinate is also 2r by pi. Y coordinate is also 2r by pi. If you want to check it, you will go for pi into dl divided by integration of the, okay, x and y coordinate values are both are same. Okay, so only I found out with respect to x axis only. Okay, x coordinate axis only I have found out. So you will go for find out the center for y centroidal coordinate also with same. So only the difference is you have to change the continuous form of approach. That is, I will give you. So see here, if you want to find out y centroidal coordinate, y coordinate, okay, equal to integration of y into dl divided by integration of 0 to L within the limits 0 to L dl. Okay, this is continuous form of approach 0 to L dl. Okay, so within this formula, if you put, you also going to get as y coordinate with 2 by pi with 2 r by pi. Same value you are going to get. Okay, so this is the value. This is the proof for your one problem, print curve problem. And also next another thing is there. So see here, determine the centroid of the arc of the circle. Okay, so from the circle they have taken some certain amount of portion. Okay, so that portion, so entire structure they have given. So whatever the structure is there, an xy coordinate system. So this is y coordinate and also this is x coordinate. They are starting from the origin. Okay, see here. So this total entire, whatever the some sector will be there. So from here it is going to start. So this is total entire sector they have given. Another this curve you will assume. Okay. Another arc you will assume. So see here. So x coordinate of this one and y coordinate of this one you are going to locate. What are these x and y? So these are x and y coordinate for the centroid of this curve. So for suppose I am going to assume the location of the centroid for this curve at this particular point. So I will take this as elementary portion. I have taken some amount of elementary portion. Okay. This having total here as a length, dl as a length. So if this is your elementary portion, so from here to here I have taken elementary portion from here to here only. Okay. So if this is your d theta, that is subtend angle from that elementary portion, and starting point up to starting point theta is the angle. So r is your radius, and also alpha by 2 is the angle which is going to be divided. It means it is symmetrical toward x-axis. So whenever this total entire curve is symmetrical toward x-axis, bicentroid coordinate will always 0. So that is the basic principle, basic common point you have to observe in our centroid. If any body or any line is symmetrical about one particular axis, means remaining coordinate will be 0. So if it is symmetrical about x-axis, means its y coordinate will be 0, y central coordinate will be 0. So for symmetry, so see here, that point I have mentioned here, yc is equal to 0. So for this one, same approach, no entire difference will be there. Only the thing is you have to understand where you are going to take elementary length and whatever the given values of theta. How much amount of subtend angle is there, how much amount of theta angle will be there, with which it is going to make, so with which axis it is going to make, whether it is going to make with respect to the x axis or otherwise y-axis, and what are the centroidal coordinates of that elementary portion. This x and y are the centroidal coordinates for elementary portion only, not for total entire curve. Okay, so that's why only differential elemental length I have taken as dl. Okay, subtended angle for the differential element between starting and end point, so whatever the angle that will be presented, that is you are going to assume as d theta. I have taken as d theta, its center. Yes, away from x-axis, how much amount of angle it is going to be assumed. What it is going to be assumed means we are going to assume elementary length of that particular arc. From x-axis it is going to make theta angle. X-axis it is going to make theta angle. We know that for the sector dl is equal to r into d theta. Okay, total length of the curve. R x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta, no problem. So same thing, if you go for putting x coordinate centroidal, for total elements you have to go for give the limits between 0 to L. So x into dl by integration of L 0 to L into dl. Okay, so see here, this length is starting from now, see here. So here it is not 0. Why? Because this is your 0 position of x coordinate x axis, and from here to here how much angle it is going to make? Alpha beta. So this total entire length of the curve. So I will clear my annotations. Now see here. So this whatever the limits are there. So 0 to, it is not 0 to L right now. It is how much? So actually this is my 0 comma 0 origin, but half of the portion is above the x-axis and half of the portion is below the x-axis. So it means it is not having the value between 0 to L limits, but it is having the value of minus alpha by 2 to alpha by 2. Minus alpha by 2. Why? Because whatever the value below the x-axis we are going to get the negative value only. We are going to get the negative value only. So whatever the above is there, it is positive value. Okay, positive value. Why? Because this is x and negative y, x and negative y. So minus alpha by 2 to alpha by 2 plus alpha by 2. So these are the limits. In order to integrate your curve to find out centroid, so we have to integrate between these two limits. So minus alpha by 2 to alpha by 2. But wherever it is in the integration, you will know that minus a to a integration of some function of f of x into dx is nothing. You will go for getting this formula 2 into integration of 0 to alpha by 2. Okay, so that is x into dl. X is nothing but your r cos theta. Okay, no problem. And d theta. So dl is nothing but r into d theta. Okay. So divided by integration of minus alpha by 2 to alpha by 2 means 2 into integration of 0 to alpha by 2 into dl. dl is nothing but your r d theta. Okay. So elementary length we have found from here. Okay, here we got from here. Okay, therefore x centroid is equal to no problem. Now you will whatever you are concerned here, so only you are having the concept of r, and remaining changing is nothing but this angle is going to be changed from minus alpha by 2 to alpha by 2. That is nothing but 2 into integration 0 to alpha by 2. Okay, so 2 is nothing but this is first portion and this is second portion. Okay, in order to integrate minus alpha by 2 to alpha by 2, we will go for taking 2 times of similar area. So this is similar area, this is similar area, or otherwise this is similar length of the element, this is the similar length of the element. So in order to do the double integration, we will go for single integration by multiplying with 2 factor. So twicely. So that is the major concept behind that. So 2 into integration r is taken common. I have taken common. So cos theta is nothing but sin theta only. Integration of r cos theta is equal to sin theta. So sin theta upper limit is alpha by 2 minus lower limit is sin 0 value is 0. Okay. Okay. 2 into sin alpha by 2. 2 or sin alpha by 2 you are going to get in the numerator divided by 2. So this 2 and 2 are always here. They have cancelled here. One to another. Okay. Okay. And d theta you will get alpha by 2. So total entire centroidal coordinate, x centroidal coordinate for your this arc. This arc of the circle is how much? R sin alpha by 2 divided by alpha by 2. Okay. So in the previous proof and this proof, what is the major difference is they have taken previously they have taken quarter portion of a circle, but here some portion of a circle they have taken. So that is they are going to call as an arc. Otherwise, you may call it as a circle or move forward. Okay, which is having different limits between the total starting and end point of the length. Okay, so there is no y coordinate. Why? Because it is symmetrical over x axis means we are going to get other coordinate axis values will be 0. Centroidal will be 0. Okay, I hope this proof is very clear for you. Okay, now just we will go for already we have solved this triangle problem, no problem. Also, if you want to look at one problem related to line elements, sometimes they are going to give the line elements problem, but not much important. But no problem, we will discuss. So see here. So this is the line element problem. So see here. Determine the centroid of the stirrup with rest to given axis. It means with respect to given axis. So see here, this is total entire line element is given. It is not a semicircle. Okay, it is not a semicircle. It is not a two-dimensional body. Only it is a one-dimensional body, which is going to be represented in xy plane. Xy plane. Okay, so better to come again, rejoin again, rejoin once again. Rejoin once again.